Yeah, but April 30th when Bruce got up in front of the council, and I want to say, Dan Raimondi has been the only one that has supported us.
Yes.
He is it. He's the only person in that council that's backed us and has been there for us. When Bruce got up there, I'm sure if people were able to get the tape or if they watched it or whatever, and you were there, at the end he got chastised by Councilor Davis for what he wrote about him on the website, using the rump swab word, okay? Whether he likes it or not, and I can understand why he wouldn't be called that, wouldn't want to be called that name, obviously, but they say it's inappropriate that Bruce wrote that. He wrote that on a constitutionally protected website. And then he went on to lecture Bruce about the Sixth Amendment. Well, what about the First Amendment? You know, and I thought it was inappropriate to bring that up. Instead of what Bruce wrote being inappropriate, it was inappropriate to bring that up at that time. You are the epitome of a public figure. You're a politician. You're a city councilor. They lectured Bruce about not being able to take the heat if he's on the stand getting questioned. How about not being able to take the heat on a website? You think Deval Patrick or Mitt Romney or Hillary Clinton or whoever, President Bush, they don't get criticized every day? I mean, you know, it's just that kind of attitude we were running into. Like, you know, they didn't want to talk about the real issues.
No.
All they ever want to talk about is our website. That's all they ever want to talk about, getting rid of the website. The website goes away when Chief Crowley's gone. That's the only way that website's going away. And then me and Bruce will very nicely bow out. Somebody else can come in, you know, and we'll all move on. But we're not going away until he's gone.
This is a steel cage death match.
It is now.
We're going to keep running to be in the E board of the union until Crowley's gone. And then, you know,
it will be, you know,
as long as the membership does us the honor of electing us, we'll keep fighting.
And by you know, you having us on, you know, we'll keep coming on. If you'll have us, the website will keep pounding away. We'll come up with new, more innovative ways of getting our point across if we have to. But I think personally, I'm only speaking personally, I think we'll be able to sit down with Mayor Koch and talk, and we're going to be able to figure something out, I think.
I want to reiterate, we're not going to go in there and say, you better fire him, you know, gosh darn it, but we're not demanding anything, but we're just, you know, we're going to tell him, but we can't, you know, we're going to give him a list of why we can't work for this guy. And, you know, one thing I want to reiterate, and I'm not expecting Mayor Koch to say, you know, so help me God, you're fired. You know, I don't expect that. But
I do.
No, Trump, we can train, right? But, you know, it's just, the one thing that people like to say is, oh, he's a strong chief, and I'm so sick of hearing that. All that means is that he's protected under the same civil service guidelines as I am, as Peter is.
As Tim Kays and Siobhan.
Well, Siobhan was on probation, but every member of the sworn member of the department has civil service protection. All that means is that if he is fired, he has the right to appeal it to civil service.
Oh, is that right?
That's all it means.
I didn't know that.
You know, because actually a lot of guys we work with are under this, you know, this urban legend that, oh, you can't fire a civil service cop.
See, I was until now.
You most certainly can.
He's not fireproof by any stretch of the imagination.
And I can't imagine civil service, if they looked, if he was fired and appealed it, I can't imagine civil service looking at his track record of these bizarre, illegal, underhanded decisions and saying, yes, you should reinstate him. I mean, like I said, once again, I'm not, you know, we weren't promised anything from Mayor Koch, we're not demanding anything, but I know that I would not want one of my department heads acting in such a fashion. You know, the thing with when he set up Officer O'Brien, I mean, that, you know, never mind the fact that it was illegal, just, you know, just underhanded, just.
First time in the 130-year existence of the Quincy Police Department, we had a vote of no confidence on Chief Crowley. Over 90% of our membership voted no. You know, no confidence. How does he explain that? Then he gets up at the council and says, morale satisfactory?
Yeah.
It's not if there's a 90% vote of no confidence. Yeah. It's not just a couple of loudmouths, and we're really not loudmouths, coming in here talking about this. It's everybody. And
you know, much as I predicted, and Peter can back me up, before the election, I said, if Koch wins the election, I said, Crowley's going to try to reinvent himself as, you know, reasonable Bob Crowley. And sure enough, he has been off the screen since the election. He's seen or heard, and he's trying to reinvent himself. And good luck to him, because he literally can't help himself. If he stays as chief, he will do something boneheaded again, like, you know, set somebody up or order them arrested from his bedroom. He can't help himself. He'll do it again.
And the trust is gone.
He'll start to feel comfortable, and then he'll go off.
Well, just the trust is gone. It's been gone for a long time.
How could you trust anybody like that?
And you can't work when there's no trust.
I got a kick out of the piece in the paper there about the gentleman in Brockton Court when the decision came out, and at the end it said, Crowley said, I hold no ill feeling. Look what you did to the guy. Look what you did to the guy. You have no feeling.
You know, when we're in there for that hearing, you know, I presented the case for the Commonwealth, I guess you could say, and then when it came time for somebody to prosecute the case against Officer O'Brien, Crowley just sat there and didn't say anything, and his attorney said, well, we don't really have a dog in that fight. Hello? It's like your client's the one that ordered him set up and charged. That's the only reason why we were there. And once again, it's classic. He throws the hand grenade and then he runs from the explosion.
But going off of that, them presenting no case, the clerk still bagged it. They didn't present a case and they still bagged it.
Yeah.
It just...
I presented a rock-solid, airtight case, and he just ignored it. Just ignored it.
I was wrong. I thought maybe they would do something to him, but I mean, I was kind of like depressed for a little while when I heard about it. I say,
well, that's the thing, Don, is after all this crap that he's pulled over since he's been chief and even captain, only one time has he ever been disciplined for anything, and that's when he missed court, and Chief Falco suspended him for 5 days when he was a captain. But since he's been the chief, all the stuff that he's done, no repercussions whatsoever. Nothing. Not a... I don't want to use an expletive, but not a thing. You know, what kind of message is that sent to us?
Exactly.
Patrolman of the department.
Exactly.
They said the slightest little, screen appearance of violating department regulation law. Just like, you know, if I get out of the cruiser and don't wear my hat, they'll bring me in, take my gun, and suspend me. You know, we had one guy, Barry DeFranco, was suspended for 5 days because he used sick time because he was sick. Yeah.
He had notes.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Had doctor's notes.
He had doctor's notes, but they said he didn't submit them in time. But a sergeant who did the exact same thing, exact same circumstances, wasn't suspended. And that's another thing we have pending at City Hall. We have about half a dozen things that is just stuck up there, grievances, and a workplace harassment complaint.
Then there was a case of, back on November 1st, Lieutenant in charge of Internal Affairs gets up at roll call, after the roll was read, gets up there and starts to chastise the union leadership about the website. Because we've accused him, with proof, that he investigates our officers without their knowledge, which is a big no-no. It's against rules and regs, it's against the contract, and I think a lot of times it violates their civil rights, okay? He gets up there, calls Bruce a liar, and says, if there was anyone here in this room that was behind this, I'd like to call them a liar to their face.
Knowing full well I wasn't there, because this was during the day.
But I was there, and I said, right here, Lieutenant, I'm here, okay? I'm behind it. I didn't write it, but I'm behind it. And he went on about, you know, yelling at me, I don't investigate anybody without their knowledge. I said, we can prove it, and you're doing it right now. He was investigating someone at the time. He went on a rampage against me in roll call, where guys literally walked out. One guy got up and said, this is great leadership, and walked out of the room.
And by doing that, that's a violation of the law, Chapter 150E of the General Laws of Massachusetts, trying to intimidate people because of the union leadership. It's a violation of the law.
Not only that, he was wrong. When I said, you're investigating someone right now, and he goes, who? And I told him who and what he was doing. He looks at me and he says, well, I don't have to tell them. After I give him an instance, I don't have to tell them. Yes, you do, Lieutenant. You've got to tell them. The rules and regs say you have. I had to recite the rules and regs of the Quincy Police Department to the Internal Affairs Lieutenant. I had to tell him 9152 of the rules and regs. So anyways, when I contact our attorney has sent them 3 or 4 to the chief, 3 or 4 letters saying, where's the investigation at? Why isn't this lieutenant being disciplined? Have heard nothing. Okay?
And then, you know, I had heard that he wanted to confront the author of the website, which is me. So I went in that night, I went into work early. You know, he should have been there before 4. He wasn't there. I said to his secretary, or the chief's secretary, Well, tell him that I was here to confront him. I'll be back tomorrow.